Howdy. A pickups video. I got stuff, so I thought I'd do one. Yeah, great start. At least I got my microphone plugged in, because the last video I didn't, and when I always sort of fiddle around with the sound afterwards when I usually when I record. And last time I was fiddling around with it. I was going, why the fuck does it sound weird? It sounds strange. And then figured that I'd taken my mic out for some reason. Can't remember why. But I had, yeah. And so it sounded weird, and it bothered me. So now I've got it plugged in, so it won't bother me, hopefully. Sorry. Sinuses. I think I had going back 2014. 2014, I went into hospital. The first and only ever time I've ever had a proper sort of like op on my sinuses. It's up here, and the surgeon said there's I've forgotten what chance. He said something like 20% chance the thing I was going in for would come back. I hadn't planned on talking about my nose when I started making this video. I've got a list of things to talk about. It's only too long, but one of them, surprisingly, is not my nose, but I can feel myself sort of breathing weird, and I felt sort of pressured to explain. But anyway, yeah, I think it's coming back. That thing I had the operation for. What was it called? Polyps. Sounds horrible. Common though, common. It's probably because I've got cats. I've come to realise, but anyway, yeah. Pickups video. It's not been that long since my last one, but I thought, I feel like I've got some sort of weird. Maybe it's. I wouldn't say second wind. It's probably more to do with like a midlife crisis. Considering I'm at that age, I know I don't look like it, but maybe that's what it is. Got it's sort of a slight second wind. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. Little list of things to talk about, and a little pile of games. Yeah, continuing on from the plan from the previous before last video of doing more shorter pickups videos. So yeah, the last one that ended up being nearly 50 minutes or over 50 minutes was just a hump in the road, so to speak. I'm back on track. Things to talk about. Yeah, I got a comment from Shockz, old Shockz, in my last video about whether or not I've got a game room or where all my games go, because I've got quite a wide range of stuff that I buy, and it must sort of build up. And to be honest, it probably doesn't look like that much when I put it all together. I think I said to him, I reckon if I put it all together, it'd probably make up two sort of standard sized Billy bookcases of stuff. And but as it is, my games, I've got some. See the shelves over there? Shelves. There's some. They go about 3 high at the top. At the top, there's DVDs and my art books. The art books are right at the top because they're never going to get read. They just look. I just wanted a shelf with art books on them. Yeah, but there's 3 shelves of games. I've got some games in one drawer there, at the end. Below me, that's my Wii. And generally all the others are upstairs in my bedroom, but they're you can't see them because I don't want them sort of at the moment. I don't want them on display. It's not that I don't want them. I don't really want them on display. It's not that I want to display them because they're games. I just want to have access to them. But I've got them obscured at the moment because for as long as I can remember, I've not had curtains in my bedroom. Not that I'm an exhibitionist. It's not that. It's just the old curtain rail fell down, and I'm too lazy to get another one. And I've heard, I think someone I know had real problems putting one up once, and it's sort of put me off. But no, I've got a batten above me. Oh, Jesus, I wasn't intending to talk about this either. Talk about my nose and my bit of wood above my window. But anyway, no, there's a batten above my window that I want to sort of screw a new curtain rail into, and it's too shallow, so the screws don't go in. So I've not had curtains for years until I can change that batten, or either that or screw into the wall, which I've always been a bit wary about because I know generally when it comes to DIY and things like this, I work on trial and error basis. So when it comes to drilling into walls, I don't want to turn my walls into Swiss cheese. You know, so trial and error is not really an option when it comes to walls, is it? Because there's a certain element of permanence. But anyway, so I've not had. I'm getting to it. I've not had curtains properly for a while, and so I've got my games obscured. To save them from being sun bleached, because there's nothing sadder than sun bleached games, sun bleached stuff, anything sun bleached. Just they just go really sad, don't they? Sort of limp, you know. They sort of go like that. They go hey when they come out of the factory. They're like hey, but put them in front of some direct beating sunlight, because my bedroom is east facing, so it gets the early morning sun, which also in the summer, because I've got no curtains, means that in the morning my room is like an oven. I'm literally being baked. But yes, I'm basically I've got them sort of behind a screen. It's actually, I say a screen. It's an old painting stretcher with canvas on it that I've got. There's actually got a painting on the other side, but I don't want to look at it because it depresses me. So I've basically turned it into like a door for my little games section in my room. But anyway, yeah. So I wanted to make something permanent in response to I wanted to essentially take all those there, all those games there, and all those games in the drawer there, take them upstairs, put them in my room. Ideally, consolidate it. Because I've got plans. I have got plans. They're just slow moving, and they might never come to fruition. I just want to consolidate. I don't really want a game room. I just want something I can. It's just basically about having easy access. Okay, get a shelf, take it off. Don't have stacks. That's one of my rules. No stacks, because otherwise, what is if you want the game right at the bottom? You have to sort of lift all the others up and slide the other one out, don't you? And it creates a hierarchy. I'm more about equality. Equality for my games. I don't want best games at the top and then like an underclass. Does that make sense? So no stacks. So essentially, I haven't got a game room to show you. Is the ultimate conclusion to that 5 minutes worth of whatever. Yeah. So I may do one time in the future, but probably by that time I won't be making videos because it could be like 10 years. And who knows, in 10 years' time, YouTube probably won't look like it does now. The rate it's changed, it's evolved since I've been doing it. It's 8 years. 8 years, so I had to think. 8 and a bit, 8.5. So in those 8.5 years, it's changed a lot. Very different. And so, who knows, in another 10 years' time, probably be quite a bit different still. Good or bad, good for good or bad, I don't know. But anyway, ultimately, I ain't got a games room to show. So, Oh yeah, and I forgot there's some there. I think going back sort of right behind the camera. You've seen them in a video. One of my, I don't know, a couple of, or more, no, probably going back 5, 6 years. Jesus, they haven't been there that long, have they? Fuck. Maybe they have. I built some shelves from IKEA. They're called Bestas. They're like their proportions fit games better than the Billies do, which appeals to me. But I actually I built them and put them there and put my games there and made a video about them. You know, so they've moved from that side of the room to that side of the room, and that's where they've been ever since. So ultimately, sort of these shelves here, the ones are there, and all the others have been moved upstairs, consolidated, and yeah. So, what can I show you at the moment? Because I've got no pride in how they are at the moment. I've got nothing I actually want to show off. So, I'm thinking if I actually say I'm gonna do it. Sorry, spit on the screen. I'm thinking if I actually say that I'm gonna do it, I might actually have to do it, but I've said I'm going to do stuff in YouTube videos in the past and never done them regularly. But maybe this time might be different. Who knows? But if I don't tell anyone, then I'm never going to do it. But if I do say it out loud, maybe there's a chance it might get done. But the idea is to make a video about my plans for my game corner, because it's literally going to be a corner. I've done a scale drawing, a highly accurate scale drawing of my room. So as you can see, it will go into my bedroom. That's another thing. You know, everybody knows ladies love a games room, a wall of games, don't they? You know, I'm wanting to sort of create like an eye line from my bed to that's where my games corner will be there. You know, an eye line like that. If you know what I mean? Yeah. So, not ideal. Now, what I was going to do, which I haven't drawn in actually, I was going to maybe put a stud wall in there, because I've got some drawers there. It's really difficult because it's mirrored. Maybe put a stud wall in there, basically to create like an actual sort of corner. And on the other side of the stud wall, I could put some CD towers to put my PS1 games in, because then they'd be facing away from the window. There's the window there. There's a bush. That's next door there. That's his outside. There's my wardrobe. Those are lights. So this is just basically the rudimentary preliminary scale drawing of my room. But that's where it will be. You know, I'll somehow work it out. That's the thing. This is all I've got to play with. And I've mentioned it a few times in the past. I did back in 95, 96. I did 1 year of an architecture degree. Shows, yeah? At least I remember that's how you do doors in plan drawings. Yeah. But one of the things that I was left with was sort of like an idea that I like the idea of sort of efficient use of space. And this is something that really appeals to me, and I want to do it well, but at the moment I can't do it well because I just know it would be shit. But an efficient use of space, and when it comes to accommodating all the games I've got, this is a good challenge. And not probably one that I ultimately won't rise to because it's difficult. But it's things like the same principles are used in boats. That's a big thing. That's a very important thing. Efficient use of space in boats. And at the moment, there's a big movement for. It's a bit of a naff term in America called tiny living, tiny houses, tiny living. And I understand the principle, and I like the principle, but it's been, a phrase has been coined which just annoys me slightly. But I like the principles behind it, and it's something that we're probably all going to have to consider. But as it is, I'm just applying these rules and these ideals to my game corner. efficient use of space. So basically, I want to design it properly so that everything is easily accessible, and it can all go in there in that little corner, and I can still get to them. And I think at the moment I've got my CRT there. I should have drawn it in that corner there under the light. That's a light. CRT there. So it makes sense if I've got all my, at least my retro stuff up here. So yeah. So the plan is, for fuck's sake, plan is to do a series of videos, because what I was going to do, that there, next to me Wii, I've got a new printer. I don't know why I bought a printer. Actually, there was a reason. I can't remember what it was. But I mean, who uses print out paper now? Printed paper now? Just seems like old hat. But it feels like it's a dying art. It's not even an art. It's a dying concept. But I bought one. It was dirt cheap. But it's a Hewlett Packard, because it had decent review scores. And one of the things that really drew me to it, like a Jedi, drew me to it, was the fact that you get free ink if you don't use it too much. They send you free ink when you're running out, and you can essentially get away with using things like less than 20 printouts a month, and then which is free. And then when the ink's going down, if you do more than that, then you have to pay for it. But when the ink's going down, they send you more. They send you a new one. They send you a new set, a replacement set as standard at the beginning. So it's what bonus for a tight arse like myself. That's just irresistible. But it also comes with a scanner. What I was going to do, put it into a little video with a little bit of maybe a voiceover, a bit of background music, lovely sexy drawings, scale drawings like this. Talk about my, I've pretty much done it all anyway now in this video, which I wasn't intending to talk about in this detail. But, put it all into a video like this, talking about my concepts behind my games corner room stroke thing. Yeah. Talk about my dislike of stacks, my love of rows. Have things standing on their end. But yeah, that was the idea, and just have a selection of these, just go one after the other, stills, highlighting a concept, bit of background music, bit of a voiceover, a little bit of fun. Yeah, so that's the idea. I was going to talk about what I've been playing, because I never do that. People do that, don't they? That's the thing people do. I never do that. Generally, because constant videos about me talking about playing Bust a Move DS would get a bit old. Essentially, that's all I play. No, it's not. That's not true. But that's how it feels, because that thing's like crack. I've never had crack, but I imagine it's what crack's like. Like Tetris. Tetris is the same. Tetris on a Game Boy is exactly the same. It's just gotta play it like that. Imagine that's how people react to crack. I'll stop talking about crack. Right. So yeah, I've been playing. What have I been playing? I forgot I was gonna talk about what I've been playing, but I've now remembered. I've been playing House of the Dead Overkill. Yeah, I've been playing House of the Dead Overkill because I'll tell you what triggered it. I wanted to trade some stuff into CEX, and I found a load of stuff I wanted to shift. And one of them was, I had two at the time, was one of my overshot shotguns. And I just wanted to make sure it worked, so I tried it with House of the Overkill. It's really good fun. It's not really appropriate because it's massive and it's not very good for aiming down the line, aiming down the sight like that. But it's got the pump action, and that works as a reload. So, but yeah, it got me into that, and now really enjoying it actually. Really enjoying it. I got a bit stuck. I couldn't get past the fourth boss, the insect, and I've sort of basically spent money that I shouldn't have done. I bought this shitty submachine gun that runs out of bullets really quickly and is that is no good whatsoever. So now I've got no money to buy anything better. So, which really annoying. I didn't realise that that's how, you know, easy it is to get money. In other words, it's not. So now I'm stuck. I've souped up my my Magnum. Is it Magnum? Yeah. I've souped that up, so that's pretty good. But still, it's still when it comes to the boss, I don't even know how to beat it. The boss on the 4th level, the insect thing on the train. Yeah, struggling. Good game though. It's so sort of ingrained that the tune has been going over and over in my head. I've been like singing it to myself. House of the Dead, Overkill, that like that. Yeah, it's good. Play it. It's good. Good game. And I've been playing it with my hand cannon like this. You know, it took me a while to work out that you need to shake the Wiimote to reload. Because when I first played it, I was pressing the button on the top, so I was like doing this. Like a twat. Right, stuff. That's everything I wanted to talk about. Stuff. Most of this is with CX credit or a game voucher. I've had this game voucher for yonks, and their prices are too high for a cheapskate like me. So it took me a long time to find something that I was happy to pay the price for, even though it was yeah. But first two are films. This one was a charity shop purchase from, I can't remember when. Yeah, it's called The Quiet Earth. Really good film. I remember watching this when I was at secondary school. Me and my friend watched it separately, or it was on the telly. We went to school the next day and I was, oh, did you see that film? It's good, wasn't it? Yeah. It's one of those situations. And then it's one of those films that you really liked, but then you forget about it, and then it keeps popping up in your memory, and then you can't remember what the film was called. And then you look, and then you look for the name, but then you never find it. But then I think it was when I first started on YouTube. Somebody left a comment on one of my videos, and somehow, sort of in the sort of the exchange of comments, we got round to talking about this film, and this guy knew the name of the film, and told me about it. Oh, brilliant! And I looked it up, and yeah, that's the one. That's the one. It's basically this guy. It's one of these films. It's one of these doomsday films that I'm so into. This bloke. It's a Kiwi film from New Zealand. Not that that's that important, but anyway. This bloke wakes up one day and he discovers that he's the last person left alive. And, it's one of those situations, in these films, he goes and does the same stuff anyone would do. But he finds two other people, and then ultimately finds out sort of near the end of the film what's happened and why the situation is like it is. I'm not going to give anything away, but it's actually really good. Not a film that many people talk about, and I bought this because once I discovered the film, I put it on my little film list. It's been on there for a long time, and when I bought this in the charity shop, I thought to myself, I've got a sneaking feeling it's been released on Blu-ray and Arrow Video, and it has. Although that's about 15 quid because it's quite a new release, so it's actually, give it a go. I think there's versions available to watch on YouTube. So it's actually, who's it by? It's by the same guy who made. It does say on the back. I'm sure it does. Does it say on the front? Yeah, there you go. It says on the front. Who made Under Siege 2 or Under Siege 2, Young Guns, and Free Jack. I saw Free Jack in the cinema. I quite enjoyed it. Did it have Mark Hamill in it? It had Emilio Estevez in it. But yeah. Not bad, that. Give it a go. One other film, Steelbook Blu-ray. It's Blade of the Immortal, an Arrow Video Steelbook. This is by Takashi Miike, one of my favourite film directors at the moment. He made one of my favourite recent action films called 13 Assassins. And I saw a trailer of this, and elements of the trailer made it look a lot like 13 Assassins. And I've watched it. It's actually really good. I didn't know, I bought this not having seen it before, but it's something that I was fairly sure I was going to like it, and it is really good. It's based on a manga, maybe an anime. I don't know. It's about this guy. He's a samurai, and or I suppose you call it a ronin. He's a masterless samurai, I think. And his sister is killed, and he takes revenge, but then in doing so he's mortally wounded, and then just before he's about to die, or as he dies, this monk pops up, this woman, and opens up his chest and puts these things into his chest that she explains are bloodworms, and essentially they make him immortal, so he can lose limbs, but then these bloodworms sort of re-heal the wounds. Essentially makes him immortal, and he could live forever. So as long as the bloodworms are still alive, So it's really good. Not quite. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as 13 Assassins, which I thought was phenomenal, but it is still really good. I've been looking at it on Amazon for a long time, and the Amazon price. I got this from HMV, by the way, which is quite rare for me to buy anything from them. The Amazon price was $8.99 for this steelbook. And then I went into HMV and I saw it on the shelf, and they had the standard version for $8.99 and this for $8.99, and I thought they're the same price. I might as well get the steelbook. Bought it and watched it and enjoyed it, but now I'm thinking that I don't really need the steelbook, and also because I think as it is, this matte black is going to scratch up like a bastard. I think when I bought it, there's already a scratch over the spine. So, and also with these steelbooks, these things really get my tits. What do you do with them? I want to put them inside, but it's too big. Listen, I'm not going to fold it up. It just really annoys me. It's just they don't really think about the design of these, do they? You're meant to throw them away. You get a little folder. That's a bit obsessive. Put them in a sort of a binder. All your steelbook sleeves. But I like having the info on the back. As it is, it's just that, because that's the tally of all the people he's killed. That's him. It's having watched it. So I'm thinking I'm probably just going to trade this in. Get me about 2/3 of my money back. So it's, makes sense. And then just when if the standard version comes down in price, just nab that. Yeah. But it's having watched it, it really makes sense that it was it's come from a manga, because there's lots of sort of well realised minor characters. They've all got very distinct looks, and which you get. Anybody who's watched anime or read manga, you get, don't you? All these certain looks, different hairstyles, very distinctive, well realised minor characters, and yeah, it's got a lot of that in this, and it's a good film. I recommend it. So it's called Blade of the Immortal. A lot of fun, quite dark, brutal, as you'd imagine, being a samurai film. Lots of dark humour when it comes to the action, but I won't go into detail. But just watch it. It's not bad. Actually, better than that. Better than not bad. It's good. That was a good one. Things I naturally watch. I naturally compare it to 13 Assassins, which I love. And I do really enjoy that. I sound like I'm playing it down. It's a really good film. Right, games. I had a game voucher for Yonks, actually since my birthday, which was at the beginning of May. 20 quid, and looking for things in Game are expensive, as everyone knows, and looking for things that are within my price range. I could have got all number of like greatest hits versions of games, which I didn't want, but it took me ages, and I was looking for a copy of Fire Emblem Awakening, which didn't turn up ever, which probably would have been about 30 quid anyway, which it sort of defeats it. To me, it defeats the purpose of having a voucher if you have to put a whole chunk of your own money into it. Sorry about that. There was someone at the door. I forgot what I was talking about. My game voucher. It was 20 quid, and I had problems spending it. So it's taken a while. Went into a branch. Recently, I can't remember what day it was. And I saw some things that intrigued me. I saw two things. One was $14.99. If you know, one was $14.99. The other one was $4.99. So it came to $19.98, which was. I'm not gonna keep a voucher for 2p. So I had to actually I'll get that one out first. That was I'll get to it. Hang on. I'm not going to keep a voucher for 2p. So essentially, I had to find something else cheap to take me over the £20 voucher price limit, and I've essentially found this. It's a duplicate, but it was a brand new one, and I assumed it's not actually brand new. I thought they were going to get me a sort of a new one out, like a sealed one, but no, they just put the disc in this one. It's just a bit disappointing. But I thought it might have been better than the one I got, like an upgrade, but no, it's not. So essentially, I'm just going to trade in. But I bought this one because it was cheap. Also, it was I thought it might get me a bit of cred with the people behind the counter. Under defeat. It's actually I really like this game. It's interesting, isn't it? It came from Dreamcast. It's a sort of there was a Dreamcast version before this, wasn't there? But no, I actually really enjoy it. It's like a twin stick shooter. Would you call it a twin stick shooter? But it's not quite in the same vein as something like a Robotron, is it? But no, it's actually a really good game. But I needed it. I sort of used it to. It was only $1.99, and it wasn't pre-owned. Although it looks like it's pre-owned. I thought they would, like I said, I thought they were going to give me a different version, but arseholes didn't. And also because it was an upgrade, or I assumed it was an upgrade, and it was a duplicate. I hoped that it might be worth sort of more if I traded in my other copy, a CX, but it turns out it'll only get me £1. So you take 2p off of that price. Essentially, I get my £1 back. Essentially, I've paid 97p for this game, or will eventually have paid 97p for this game. The privilege of owning it for about a week, but I couldn't find anything else. I couldn't find anything else to take me over the £20 limit. If I'd been thinking clearly, I could have got like a cheaper game that I'd had on my list. Like I'm still missing. Like things like Bioshock 2. Bioshock 2 is probably about the same price. But no, I wasn't thinking clearly, and I got carried away with, looking like one of the cool kids with a shooter. But at least I might get a bit of credibility when I trade it in, or my other copy. If this turns out, I doubt this is actually better than my copy. But anyway, Under Defeat, a great game if no one's ever played it. It's got a unique, as far as you can rotate the angle of your helicopter, so it fires at sort of in straight lines. It takes a bit of getting used to, but it's once you do it, it sort of becomes second nature. And it makes quite a distinctive gameplay experience. Right, there was that, and the two that I really wanted. This one is what was it called? Atelier Esca and Logi, Alchemists of the Dusk Sky. Glare. Yeah. When I first drew up my PS3 list a few years ago, I did back then. I didn't know there was just a whole just ream of carbon copy, seemingly a carbon copy RPGs, and this was one of the few that stood out. It gets good. There's lots of Atelier games. There's about 8 of them, or no, 5, I think, 5 or 6. There's a couple of multiple versions of them. There's about 5 or 6 on the PS3, and they all seem a bit similar, but there's 2 or 3 of them that stand out, and this is one of them. And like most of the Atelier games, it's about sort of alchemy, and you can sort of create items and bind things using things that you find on the game world. But I've not played it yet, but I've watched a lot of gameplay videos, and it is, like I said, of the 5 or 6 on the PS3, this is the main one that stood out. So this is the main one that piqued my interest. And like most of them, or all of them, they're all by Gust, and which is, they all, regardless of what platform they're on, they all had that really old school look about them. But yeah, synthesis system, that's what they all tend to use. But apparently they have the 2 main characters, and you pick one at the beginning of the game, and then you play their side of the game. Or I don't know whether you get to play both characters or whether you just play one. I don't know, but you pick a character at the beginning, and no, it's supposed to be good. It's just yet another RPG with a bullshit title. I love RPGs. Don't get me wrong, but I do get a bit embarrassed when I have to talk. Go into a game shop. Excuse me, do you have Atelier Esca and Logi, Alchemists of the Dusk Sky, please? So I'll grow the fuck up and just, this is me talking to myself. This is my inner monologue. I think, get over yourself. It's a game title. Who gives a shit? Well, my was ego or id or whatever. I don't know which one's which. Who cares? Anyway, yeah, it's supposed to be not bad, and I've had an eye out for this. That's not actually a decent. That's a good price, by the way. I think CEX is about 18-20 quid. You might pay a bit more on eBay. And the other one that took it up to 1998 was this. Now again, this is actually a duplicate. No, it's not a duplicate because I've got the 360 version, and one of the main reasons I got this because I've just got a sneaking feeling my 360 is on its way out, because it's crashed a few times recently, and it's an elite model, I think. Is that it's one of the black versions is one of the original shapes, the black version. So and I think they're a bit iffy, not quite as iffy as the white ones, but still a bit iffy, aren't they? Don't know. It's done all right up to now, but it's just the odd occasion it's just crashed, and I got a bit paranoid. So when I saw this, I thought I might as well nab it, because I've got the 360 version, and I don't want to not be able to play it. And also, one of the reasons I bought it, because I know these are really uncommon, or they were. I've since discovered they're not. They were for a long time, but now you can go on eBay or go on Music Magpie. Music Magpie I've got on for under £5, and like this essentially. And also you can get brand new ones for about £10. So, So I might take this one if my 360 is okay. I could trade this one in or trade the other one in. Like I said, I don't always keep duplicates if they're not essential, but or for whatever reason. But as I said, it's not quite as uncommon as I thought it was. So I think this will get me about £7 trading. So it makes sense. So good game. Apparently, I've not played it. People have told me it is. So yeah. Bioshock Complete Edition. That's the thing, because all the DLC is on the disc. So there's no download codes, and that's one of the main things that appealed to me. Right, CEX purchases. I'll try not to speak too long about these, because I know we're probably going to be over 40 minutes now. Was on my list since Champion 2D. Rob showed it. A Dragon Ball Z RPG on the DS. Dragon Ball Z RPG. I'm not a big Dragon Ball Z expert, but I do really like the universe. As I've mentioned a few times in the past, I've watched a lot of the anime, but only in Spanish. I don't know how many episodes I watched in about 3 months. It was on every morning when I was in Spain for 3 months. It was on every morning. I watched it in Spanish, not having a Scooby what was going on. It was around about the booze saga, and I still to this day don't know how that ended. It got to the point where they were all inside his body and they'd all sort of fused using the earrings. But yeah, so I do like Dragon Ball Z. But I'm not a massive expert, but this I'd heard was a really good game, and a Dragon Ball Z RPG, essentially a traditional turn-based Dragon Ball Z RPG, which in my mind is a great idea, and it makes sense because there's so many different characters. It makes sense that the idea of having all these characters in a battle party just really, really appealed to me. And this has actually come down in price a lot. It was about sort of 28, 30 quid for a long time in CX, but then it dropped. Spin on the screen again. It dropped, and things of their price for a while was expensive. I think this is probably more on the button, and I'm paying credit with this. So the tiny bit of credit I had left sort of went on this. So and the next thing I've got. So it's a thing. It's not that common. It's not that common on eBay. It's not that common in CX. It's not really uncommon that they do pop up, but then because there's only ever a few available at a time, they tend to sort of go for a bit more than you'd hope, or at least in CX they do. They did. They don't anymore. So yeah, and it's the UK version. It's really nice and completados, which isn't even a word. I don't know why I said it. And also, that was the same day, Pandemonium 2. This was £8. That's another good price. That's, I think, on eBay. This was a boxed. This is just a really nice version. Really nice copy. Just everything's there. Disc's decent nick. I went into a branch in, I can't remember where. Wherever I went, had a look at it. It was local, and it was a really nice nick, so I used some of my credit for it. I've noticed when it comes to PS1 games, the higher price ones are more likely to be bad condition or missing something. I've looked at, I had that copy of Mega Man Legends 2. I've looked at multiple copies of Tombi 2. I've looked at a few other. There's a copy of Mega Man X5. Is it 5 or 6? Mega Man X6 in a branch near me. That's got a knackered manual. I looked at a copy of Tombi 2 recently, and it was an okay nick, but the manual was just too worn for my liking. So it just seems that the lower price games are more likely to be in better nick when it comes to boxed. So either way, I always like to go and look at them. I've learnt my lesson from Mega Man Legends 2. It's supposed to be a good game. Not played this. I played the first one, 2D, 3D platformer that was so popular in the PS1. On the PS1, psychedelic. This looks like it could be more psychedelic than the first game because that's got just looks more colourful. I've looked at some gameplay video and it's pretty trippy. So yeah, Pandemonium 2. Right, last one. This is probably the main reason why I wanted to make a video now, because I wasn't necessarily planning to. But this is a sort of quite a nice charity shop find, and there's not much more I can say about it. But it's a sealed Super Smash Brothers Brawl for £2. Yeah, I don't know. This is a duplicate, like some of the others I've shown, and yeah. I'm probably going to keep this because, like I said, it's a duplicate. I don't keep sealed games. I might unseal it and put it on. I like the idea that it's pristine. I might unseal it, put it on the shelf. It just gets ridiculous. You can. It does. I mean, you listen to yourself talking, you think, what the fuck are you going on about? But Probably won't put it on the shelf sealed, but I don't know. Anyway, I'll trade the other one in. That'll get me a tenner. Yeah, it's all nice and factory fresh. Not much more to say. He's on with Bizzo with Dragon Ball Z pointing the wrong way. Right, I'm gonna let you go. I'm guessing that's about 45 minutes now, so I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for watching. Apologies if the sound's a bit low. I've realised because I've unplugged. I'm guessing because I've unplugged my mic, my USB mic from last time. It's sort of it's set the volume settings to default, so this might be a bit quiet. So you might have to put your volume up slightly. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not fucked up this whole video. Just put the subtitles on if you can't hear me. All right, cheers. Thanks a lot. See you later.